always amazes me how senior military officers retire and they come to love strong encryption. If only this were the case prior to their retirements. We simply do not encrypt our information enough, not often enough, not strongly enough. And it seems to me this remains a central challenge in cybersecurity for us. I'm very proud of our institution, Naval Postgraduate School, for having begun a process of encouraging the use of cloud computing well over a decade ago. And this is catching on quite a bit in the Navy, and I think is going to diffuse throughout the services in the years to come. And this is one of the linchpins of what I call in the book data mobility. To be sure, cloud computing, the cloud is simply someone else's computer, but the point is, it is somewhere else. And so it makes it a little harder for a hacker to find it. But think about this, think about taking sensitive data, strongly encrypting it with long key length and all the advanced encryption technology we have, breaking it into parts, and then putting it into different places in the cloud. Now you've made the hacker's problem even more serious. Go one step further and move it around. Don't just put it in the cloud and leave it in the same place. Move it around. Data mobility. What I like to say is that data at rest are data at risk. If it's just sitting somewhere behind a firewall or protected by antiviral software, sooner or later it's going to get got, because a firewall and antiviral software only recognize what they know already. And hackers are in the business of always presenting a new exploit that won't be detected, and they walk through fire. I liken firewalls to the old French Maginot Line of World War II, which was so easily outflanked by the Germans in the 1940 campaign. So instead of Maginot Lines, I urge that we imagine no lines and just assume that the bad guys are going to get in to fixed places. And so those places may be fixed, but the data need not be fixed and needs to be moved around. So that is the central challenge. And we have to realize that all the information systems that greatly enhance the power of our forces and their effectiveness also makes them more vulnerable to the disruption of these systems. Now, I'm doing an event in a few weeks with Admiral Stavridis. He wrote a wonderful predictive novel called 2034 about what would happen to the US military if its information systems were all penetrated and a shooting war began. That's when I talk about Blitzkrieg, that's what I'm talking about. And in his novel, of course, Chinese are the ones who have sort of mastered that. My goal is in writing my book is, hey, let's have the United States get there first. It's a little bit like the situation a century ago when the Germans were the first ones to figure out Blitzkrieg, the combination of the tank, the plane, and the radio, and the coordination of their operations gave them huge, almost war-winning advantages. Thankfully, the Allies understood these concepts in enough time to turn the tide, but it was a near-run thing. I'd rather not have that what happened in the age of Blitzkrieg, I hope will not happen in the age of Blitzkrieg. I'd like to see the United States in the fore in this area. And again, it seems to me, particularly in terms of cybersecurity, the Naval Postgraduate School has been absolutely on the cutting edge. And it's one of those things that we and the foundation together have to try to amplify and really make sure that people hear this message and throughout the defense community. And frankly, I think it will defend the civilian information infrastructure better as well if the methods that we're developing here diffuse to them as well. Over.